Today marks exactly 7 days since Khayalethu Magadla fell into an open manhole near his home in Dlamini, that's in Soweto. Efforts to find the 6-year-old have so far been unsuccessful, with emergency services relentlessly trying to locate him. Residents who have also been involved in the search say they wish emergency services could expand their search as the family is battling to cope with the incident. Khayalethu was playing soccer with his friends when he fell into the open manhole. Officials have since closed it, saying it's unlikely that he would still be in the same spot. Let's take you live to Dlamini, where we find Malungelo Booi, who is monitoring developments there. At this hour, Malu, what are you able to tell us?
Well, Duduzile, what we're currently seeing now is that there's also officials from Joburg Water that are actually going through and searching some of the manholes that they have, or their infrastructure that they have. Earlier on, about 10 minutes ago, we saw a drone flying over this particular area. As you have already indicated, Duduzile, 7 days today, and efforts really by emergency personnel to find Khayalethu Magadla have not yet yielded any result. So is there a new strategy that emergency personnel will deploy? Let me bring in Robert Mulawutsi from EMS here in Johannesburg. So thank you so much for your time. Let's get a sense then, Robert, because the efforts so far have not yielded any results. So what's the plan going forward now?
Yeah, the plan is that we are exploring in the area just after the fourth main hole. There's an area where we wanted to explore to check for additional main holes using the technology you just mentioned. So for us, even if we don't really detect the real main holes, as long as we get the pipeline, we are able to create our own trench, which we can be able to deploy technicians using external air supply underground. So that process is underway, and right now our colleagues from Joburg Water, they've managed to identify a couple of manholes in the area, which is good for us, progress for us. So shortly we will be deploying our technicians along that pipeline to see whether we cannot be able to locate young Khayalethu in that area before now we move in towards the split chamber.
Okay, so we're talking about different manholes, yes, because yesterday one of the things you were saying that there's about 8 manholes here in this particular line. Okay.
Yes, these are different because remember we according to the information which we are trying to go back now, we realize that this area used to be an informal settlement. So there might be other manholes which are not clear to us. So hence we decided to ask our colleagues from Joburg to organize those graders to be able to clear that area, so that as long as we can even get just the pipeline, we don't really have to get the physical manholes themselves. If we get a pipeline, we're able to organize ourselves a trench, and then from there we can be able to deploy. That is exactly what we are doing, just to clear any uncertainty in the area before we move to the next stage. Continue with what you were talking about, that those 8 other manholes, so that it will take us to the split chamber.
What happens then right at the end? What are you hoping then at the end if you don't get anything from these 8 manholes? Then what happens then?
Yes, what's happening in the split chamber? The split chamber is where everything, all the waste which goes from around the area in here, it goes into one pipeline into the split chamber. So that's where everything comes in. So we're hoping that by clearing these lines here, all the manholes in the area here, and then flowing it along the pipeline, everything will go through the split chamber. Then we'll be able to maybe locate young Khayalethu in that split chamber. So from here, when everything is cleared here, our last hope will be the split chamber.
So you're then saying if he fell into that manhole, he should be at the split chamber?
Exactly. That is if indeed he fell on last Sunday into the pipeline. By the time we get to the split chamber, we could have cleared all uncertainty whether he's along the pipeline. So the only area which we will be pinning our hopes on is the split chamber. Hence, we want to clear the whole pipeline so that we can only rely on the split chamber. Make sure that all the lines in the split chamber are operating fully, and then we can be able to maybe locate him in that area if we fail to relocate him in here. But from our side, we still committing ourselves to continue with the search. If we don't win here today, we're still going to go back to the drawing board and strategize. But we're hoping, because we are believers, if you read the Bible, the day number 7 is associated with completion and perfection. So we're hoping that today we will be able to complete this search for the young boy, and we'll be able to assist the family, Magadla family, to find closure.
Did you guys give yourselves a timeline, for example, saying that, or on the 8th day or in the 2nd week we will stop this search?
No, we don't, because this search is diva. Sometimes we can get to day number 10, day number 11, but we're just hoping that with all the options which we have, we are creating now for ourselves. We feel that today might be the day whereby we complete the whole search process to be able to locate young Khayalethu.
All right, Robert Mulawuthi, thank you so much for your time. The people who read Bible may attest to what you just told me. Thank you so much. Robert Mulawuthi is there, Duduzile. He speaks for the emergency services here in the city of Johannesburg, essentially saying that they don't have really a timeline of when essentially they will end this operation, saying that they'll only end it when the mission is successful. What does that mean then? It means that they will search until they find little Khayalethu Magadla.
Malungelo Booi coming to us from Dlamini in Soweto. Thank you.